Hello, everybody. Joe Hart here from Vermont. I'm a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. That's my main purpose in all my streams, but I try to cover other things. I cover motorsports and other topics about invisible disabilities and things like that. But this is going to be about Formula E. By the way, people that watch this live, I thank you very much. I appreciate that. People who watch it as a recording, thank you so much. I'd love to get comments in both. I haven't figured out how I interact when I'm live. I'm used to, Meerkat and Periscope, and there's always interactions, and that's what I prefer. But anyway, we're gonna just cover. I'm going to just go through a few things. Formula E opened this weekend, Friday and Saturday. It was in Diriyah, Saudi Arabia, and it was a double header. It's 8 hours ahead, so it's hard to talk about their local time or our local time. But it was a Friday and Saturday night were the races. Friday and Saturday night, but that was, probably Friday and Saturday noon, our time local. So anyway, I'm going to go over standings. I'm going to do driver standings, team standings, and then some of the results. And I'll see how well I do. There seemed to be a lot of flippy floppy things. I did a stream, of course. I predicted all 24 positions for all 24 drivers for the entire year, which is ridiculous. We can't even guess who's going to win. And there'll be, by the end of the year, there's going to be more than 24 drivers. Some of them will not make a whole year because of their performance. And so we will have more than 25 drivers. Most likely, we have the previous 6 years. And also, there's a lot of topsy-turvy. Just for example, Neo did not score a point last year entirely. And in the first race, one of their drivers scored 1 point, which, doesn't sound like much, but it's a point, which is the top 10, I believe. It might be top 12, but I think that it's top 10 get points out of 24. So he was top 10 when normally they're always the last or second to last. But also, yeah, Neo, and also, what's the other company name called? I'm blanking it out. The other one that is normally last place. Dragon Penske Autosport. So Dragon and Neo, for the second race during qualifications, the 4 of those teams, 2 Neos and 2 Dragons, which are always been the bottom 4 for the last several years, even with extra drivers. So if there's 28 drivers, some of those 4 were below the top 24, even though there's 24 drivers, whatever. Anyway, Dragons 2 drivers and Neo's 2 drivers all qualified for the Super Pole, which is the top 6 times, and then they qualify under the Super Pole part of the qualifications to see who gets the pole in the top 6 positions. So that was really weird. So yeah, there's a lot of topsy-turvy thing. Anyway, I'm going to just go through it. Nick DeVries or DeVries is you can probably see that's probably backwards, isn't it? That is probably backwards. It is backwards. Huh. So I'm gonna just so anyway. First place is Nick DeVries at 32 points. He had 29 and 3 points. Sam Bird, who did really well, he won the second race, and he drives for Nick drives for Mercedes, which should be on the top. They're probably going to be the top 2nd team or the top 1 team. They might, displace DS to Cheetah. So Bird got second with 25 points, 0 and 25 points for Jaguar Racing. Robin Friends, and I'm going to pronounce their names as well as I can. I probably won't do really well, but I have been to a couple of their races, and one says media. So I interviewed all 24 drivers at the time, which is still probably 20 of these drivers. So I would ask them how to pronounce their name, and because of my disabilities, I try to remember it and try to work on it. So anyway, third place, Robin Friends for Envision Virgin. He has 22 points, 0 and 22 points. And then it jumps down to 18 points. Ed Motora for Rocket Venturi Racing. He got 18 points for the first race. Second race, he wrecked after practice 3. They were doing practice starts. And on the first turn, his car went straight and did not slow down. He went right into the wall. It was a pretty big hit. He went to the hospital. They checked him out and stuff. He ended up being okay. But for the next practice 3 was going to be qualifications, the second qualifications for the second race. All 4 Mercedes, which is Mercedes EQ, which is the brand, and then Rocket Venturi, which is a customer. They buy Mercedes. So all 4 of them couldn't race until they figured out what was wrong with the car. And then he ultimately did not race. Boy, I forget things, even though it was only yesterday. But I do believe he did not race in the second race because there wasn't going to be a replacement driver because they needed to do a practice, and Ed did all 3 practices. But Wolf, Total Wolf's sister, wife, said it's his car. So he didn't race in the second. So anyway, Dak, Felix, and Antonio Felix da Costa, who won last year, has 15 points, and he's tied with Mitch Evans that has 15 points. So both Da Costa is Diaz Techeetah, who won the last 3 years or 2 years. They're the favorite, but right now they're 5th, and I don't even see the other one. 5th and 17th. Woo-wee. So those both are tied at 15. And then it goes 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Wow, they're all. So, anyway, 7th, Oliver Rowland for Nissan EDOMs, 8 and 6. That's consistent, 14 points. Renee Rast for Audi Sport ABT Schiffler. He did 13 and 0, which most people are doing 0 points in one of the races and really good in the other race, which is showing how inconsistent the whole weekend was, or generally. 9th was Sergio Santa Camera for Dragon Penske. He's got 12 points. 9th. That's Dragon, 9th place. Holy moly. And I think Rocket Venturi's not supposed to do very well this year, or in previous years. And they're 4th with Ito Motora, with racing only one of the 2 races. So anyway, there's just a lot of flip-flopping. 10th is Pascal Verling for Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E team. He did 10 points and 1 point for 11 points. Nico Mueller. I thought that was Hulkenberg. I was like, no, he's gone from Formula One and other series. Nico Mueller for Dragon Penske Autosport. He has 10 points. He did 0 and 10 points for 10 points total. Again, that's Dragon 9th and 11th. 9th and 11th after 2 races, and they're supposed to be the worst. So, whoo! 12th, and 12th place, which I'm about to announce, is 9 points. So, it's not a ton of points, but it's still they're still ranked. So 12th is Oliver Turvey for Neil 333 FE team. He did 1 point and 9 points. They were really proud of the 1 point, and then he did 9 points. 13th, Alexander Sims for Mahindra Racing. I think people are hoping or thinking that Mahindra is going to do better this year. I think I put him at 9th out of 12, which my guesses are useless. But anyway, I had him pretty low. So he did 6 and 0 points for 6 total. Lucas Degrassi for Audi Sport ABT Schaeffler did 2 points and 4 points for 6 points total. OMG. Van Dorn, Stoffel Van Dorn, everybody's favorite because he came from Formula One. And I don't think he was the top fan boost voter, but I do believe for every single race last year and every single race that he's been in since he came in, he was the top vote. So now it's getting a little, now we're forgetting about the Formula One and now we're just voting for people. So Stoffel Van Dorn, 15th with 4 points. Now, for 16th through 24th, they have 0 points. From 16th through 24th, they have 0 points. I don't know how they rank them. I'm sure how they, qualified and then practiced, and then I don't know how they do it. Top ending position for any of the races. I don't know how they do it. So it's 16th through 24th. And these are all 0 points. So 16 is Andre Lotterer, one of my favorites. I have a few favorites, but I like him. Tag Hour Porsche Formula E team. 17, Jean-Eric Verne. He is a previous champion. He drives for DS Techeetah. He and Antonio Felix da Costa was getting a little snippy with each other with their cars. 17th, 0 points. 18, Jake Dennis, BMI Andretti Motorsport. 19, Sebastian Bueme, another past champion. Nissan Edams, 0 points. 20, Norman Nato, Rocket Venturi Racing, 0 points. 21st, Nick Cassidy for Envision Virgin Racing, 0. 22, Tom Blomqvist, I think. I don't know how you say Qvist. I say it like a U, but I don't. Tom Blomqvist. I don't know if you say the V. For Neil 333 FE team. 23 is Gunther Maximilian Gunther. I like him, but he's 23rd currently, 0 and 0. DNF for both races. BMW Andretti Motorsport. I'm not a big fan of Andretti, but that doesn't matter. 24th, Alex Lynn, Mahindra Racing. First race, he wrecked Sam Bird. That was not cool. And then he got another DNF. So the bottom two, Gunther and Lynn, have 2 DNFs for 2 races. 18th and 19th, Jake Dennis and Sebastian Bueme have 1 DNF, both on the race 2. Mitch Evans, I think, is the line. Yeah, Mitch Evans, who is 6th, got 1 DNF for race 2. And Sam Bird, who is number 2, because he won the second race, he has a DNF in the first race. So let's look at teams. See what happens there. So there's 12 teams, 2 drivers each for 24 drivers. 24 drivers, 12 teams. Wow, I'm going long. 14 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. I would love to hear comments or hear anything y'all have to say. So, number 1, kind of hot out of the gate. I would have guessed. I don't have my, what is it? Jaguar, I guess. Jaguar, I guess 5th. There's first. 15 and 25 points for 40 points. Second, who I guess second, Mercedes EQ Formula E team, they're 33 points and 3 points for 36. 3, Envision Virgin, which I said seventh. That's for the year. And I just blindly guessed. I had numbers and I OCD, with my disabilities and stuff. I did figure it out, but they were just guesses. And I was way off these first 2 races. So number 3, Envision Virgin Racing, 0 and 22 points for 22 points. 4th, Dragon Penske, who I said will be last place, 12th. Penske, I love Roger Penske and everything he does. I know his son is not Roger, and Roger is not his son. But they have yet to figure out Formula E. Anyway, they seem to be figuring it out this year. So I guess Dragon for 12th. They're 4th, 0 points, 22 points for 22 points. That's tied with 3rd, but they ranked them somehow. 5th, which is Audi Sport ABT Schiffler, which I said, I don't see it, a Audi 4th, and they're 5th. They did 15 and 4 points for 19 points. 6th, Rocket Venturi Racing, which I think I said 11th, second to last. They're 6th with 18 and 0 for 18 points. 7th, DS Techeetah, which I said first, but I think Mercedes is going to give them a run for it. And from the look of it, it looks like a lot of teams are going to shake it up and do different. DS Techeetah is going to get a new powertrain, I think is what it's called. They're not called cars, and they're not called engines. They're different. I should know. It's not on the tip of my tongue. 7th, the Cheetah instead of first. 0 and 15 for 15 points. 8th, Nissan E-Doms, who I say 6th. That's pretty close. 8 and 6, very consistent. 8 and 6 for 14 points. 9th, Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E team, which I said 3rd. That's 9th. They did 10 points and 1 point for 11 points. And then 10th, Neil 333 FE, I said 10th. They did 1 point and 8 points for 9 points. And then 11, Mahindra, which I said 9th. 6 points and 0 points for 6 points. And number 12 with 0 points is BMW I Andretti Motorsport, which I said 8th. But they have 0 and 0 for 0. So that's standings for the 2. I'm going to check out race results. Race 1. Practice 1. I'm going to just do like top 3 or 4. Practice 1 was Nick DeVries, Andre Lauderer, Lucas DeGrassi, Eddie Motora. Practice 2, Nick DeVries, Stoffel Van Dorn, Eddie Motora, Oliver Rowland. Qualifications, which, that's not the top 6 because they resort those. 7th, Andrew Lauderer. 8th, Sam Bird. 9th, Gunther. 10th, Oliver Rowland. And then the resorting of the Super Bowl to make it correct is Nick DeVries, Pascal Verlaine, Rene Rast, Eddie Motora, Alex Lynn, Mitch Evans. That's for race 1. And then for E-Prix, the results is Nick DeVries 1, Eddie Motora 2, Mitch Evans 3, Rene Rast 4, Pascal Verlaine 5, Oliver Rowland 6, Alexander Sims 7, Stoffel Van Dorn 8, Lucas DeGrassi 9, Oliver Turvey 10, Antonio Felix da Costa 11, Jake Dennis 12, Sebastian Buemi 13, Norman Nato 14. Jev, Jean-Eric Verne, 15. Andre Lauderer, 16. Robin Friend, 17. Tom Blomqvist, 18, who I chose for last place, by the way. Just I tried to figure it out. Nick Cassidy, 19, which those are two. Norman Nato at 14. The three newcomers to the series is 14th Norman Nato, 18. The three newcomers is 12th Jake Dennis, 14 Norman Nato, and 19 Nick Cassidy. Okay. So 20th, Sergio Sette Camera, 21. Nico Muller. And then 000 is Max Gunther, Sam Bird, and Alex Lynn. So 21 minutes. So race 2. Practice 3. There is only one practice for the second race. Robin Friends first, Nick DeVries 2, Nick Cassidy 3. I think Nick is the first name. He's the newcomer. Got third. Alex Rowland 4th. DaCosta 5. Motora 6. Stoffel Van Dorn 7. Qualifications. So this is not the top 6. I have to redo it. 7th, Jev, Jean-Eric Verne. 18, Sebastian Buemwe. 9th, Alex Lynn. 10, DaCosta. So Super Pole. Once they have re-qualified, Robin Friends, is that true? Robin Friends on the pole? I guess that is true. Sergio Sette Camera. Bam! From Dragon. 2nd, front row. Sam Bird from Jaguar, 3rd. Oliver Turvey, 4th. From Neil 333, 4th. Tom Blomqvist from Neil 333, 5th. And Nico Muller from Dragon Penske, 6th. So Dragon, this is Super Pole, so it's not the race results, but still they kicked butt, unheard of. The 2 lowest races by most people's standards got both of their drivers in the final 6 for the Super Pole. And at the end of the qualifications of Super Pole, Dragon Penske Autosport got 2nd and 6th, Camera and Muller, and Neil 333 FE team got 4th and 5th, Turvey and Blomqvist. That's pretty awesome. Now the race. First, Sam Bird. He and Robin Friends was going back and forth. It was a pretty good race between them. Sam Bird first, Robin Friends 2nd, DaCosta 3rd. They came from way back. Lucas DeGrassi did not do. Oh no, wait, that's not it. Where's the other guy? I guess he didn't do as well at all. Anyway, DaCosta, the 2 Cheetahs were way far back. Jev finished at 12th, but they were pretty far back, like 15 and 17 or something like that. DaCosta came up to 3rd. 4th, Camera Setta. I think he's a newcomer, right? Oh no, he seems like a newcomer. He did a couple races last year. So he really should be grouped in with all the newcomers, like NASCAR standards. If you do less than 5 races, you're still a rookie or something like that. He's definitely a rookie. So 4th, pretty cool. Mueller, 5th for Dragon. So Dragon got 4th and 5th. Final results. I would say the bottom team got 4th and 5th. Sette Camera and Nico Muller. Dragon got 4th and 5th. Neo got 6th with Turvey and 18th with Tom Blomqvist. Something probably happened to him. But 7th, Oliver Rowland from Nissan Edams. 8th, DeGrassi, Audi Sport ABT Schiffler. 9th, Nick DeVries. Yeah, it's too bad about that Mercedes thing. They couldn't qualify, and they didn't know if they were going to be able to race. Yeah, that was too bad. Because Nick DeVries was the hottest for everything with the first race, and he probably would have repeated for the second race, but they couldn't qualify because Ido Montaro wrecked his Mercedes. And they, the two Mercedes brands, and then the two, whatever they're called, Rocket Venturi, they couldn't. So they buy from Mercedes, and Mercedes drives their own brand. So those four couldn't qualify. So that's too bad. Nick DeVries got ninth. Too bad. Pascal Wehrlein 10th. Andre Lederer 11th. So 10th and 11th, they're both Tag Heuer Porsche. 12th, Jean-Eric Verne, DS Techeetah. 13th, Stoffel Van Dorn, Mercedes EQ. 14th, Nick Cassidy, Envision Virgin. 15th, Alexander Sims, Mahindra Racing. 16th, Norman Nato, Rocket Ventura Racing. 17th, Rene Rast, Audi Sport, ABT Scheffler. 18th, Tom Blomqvist, Neo 333. And then the rest are zeros. Did not finish. And, so there is 5 that did not finish, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And then 24th did not start. And Ido Montaro did not start. So, that's too bad. He wrecked. Where, his safety is the most important, so we're glad he's okay. But, it's too bad about those Mercedes. Which it's good to find out that their brakes may not work or whatever happened. But anyway, the 5 did not finish was Sebastian Buemi, Nissan Edoms, Maximilian Gunther, BMW Andre Motorsport, Mitch Evans, Jaguar Racing, Alexander Lynn, Mahindra Racing, Jake Dennis, BMW Andretti Motorsport, and then, Ido Montaro didn't start. So that's that. So I think that's all I've got for Formula E. I don't know what else I could cover, but sorry it's a long stream. Looks like it's going to be about 28 minutes. So I'm going to do a NASCAR while it's still fresh in my mind, or as long as fresh. And these are weird streams for me because normally I print everything up and highlight it, and I can quote precisely exactly what's going on, but my printer's not really working, and sometimes it takes me more time than I have, and then it becomes the next week before I report. So I'm trying to do these in timely fashions, and as accurate as I can do without printing up things perfectly and completely. So anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me comments. Give me whatever you want. Whoo-wee, that's a long one. All right, so I will talk to you later. And thank you very much.